Okay, as for the continuation of our physical evidence, so here is a guideline or principle in collection of physical evidence. Okay, so kung mag-collect ka mo sang evidences, so may several guidelines to collect physical evidences para masigurado nga ang gina-collect nyo, okay, may protocol nga ginasundan. Okay, resulting for generation of useful evidence. Kag wala po for example makuha lang kamo sa sample tapos kulang-kulang man, so ibig sabihin wala gamit to ang first yung nga gin-submit. Ibig sabihin magawa na is to avoid kay insufficient mga na. So first gidya, okay, first rule is sufficiency of the sample. Okay, so the sufficient weight, okay, kung ano ang kabugaton, volume for liquid mga ang kadamuon, pieces of sample, okay, so kung i-analyze mga fragments, so dapat as much as possible chapto, so to be submitted sa mga series of lab tests can be performed. Okay, best common example ni is for drug testing. For drug testing, pinapakolect ang urine sang suspect. Okay, to test if may illegal substance sa iya nga lawas. So, ginatagan siya sang specimen cup. Okay, sa specimen cup nga na, okay, ang instruction is punon gid dapat sang tawo. Okay, punon siya sang ihi. Kay kung maglabo, okay, kung hindi ka labo sa kung hindi gid mapuno gid or kung ang ipasa sang suspect is half lang or 1/4 lang, okay, so insufficient na. Therefore, gina-void na siya sang laboratory. So, as kami nga medtech nga gaan gid sang drug test, so sa amon to, amo gid na ang very strict nga protocol nga namon gina-follow. So, maskin kapila na siya magliwat-liwat. Hindi gid kami mag-accept kung hindi gid mapuno ang specimen cup sang urine. Ang purpose na class is sa amon at sa laboratory. Okay, so if ang suspect kinapatest kung may illegal substance naman siya sa lawas, kung mag-positive siya sa laboratory, ibig sabihin ang urine niya na nga sa laboratory mismo is ipadala pa namon siya sa hospital, din pa ng hospital nga sa Manila. Kay sa Manila dito ang general hospital kung sa diin gina-confirm gid ang gina-drug analysis gid ang urine to prove nga ang nagpositive gid sa laboratory namon is ang illegal substance gid. Kaya aman usually may mga interference gid ya class, hindi mo ginamiwasan nga may gina-intake nga bulong ang suspect nga legal drugs man, pero maka-cause siya positive sa laboratory na test na. Next is standard for comparison. A standard should be submitted so that comparative analysis can be performed and facilitate the evaluation of unfair trade competition. So, mga standards. Sa inyo, guro, I don't know kung ano mga example ko, pero sa amon, sa akong field. So, for example, may iran kami nga test. So, ang ginaset na naman nga standard is, for example, mapatest ka sa before ka mag-run gid sang test. Like for example, may batunon ka nga kit for drug test. Okay? Sa drug test na nga kit nga na, okay, may dalada nga sample nga positive kag negative. Okay? Ang sample na positive nga kit ya class, okay, kung ipatulo mo na siya or gamiton nyo sa test kit nga ginbakal nyo, bag-o, kung itulo nyo na siya, kung i-test nyo, ang result gid na dapat is positive. Okay? Then, ang inyong kit nga, ang free lang negative nga sample. So, kung gamiton nyo na sa kit naman niya, mga bag-o, hindi ang sa gingamitan nyo na sa bag-o, dapat result yun na is negative. So, that will be set as your standard nga to make sure nyo nga ang inyong kit nga ginagamit is sulod sa standard. Hindi kay positive nga sample tapos pag gamit mo sang kit, ang result kaya negative. So, ibig sabihin, wala siya nagsulod sa standard. Ibig sabihin, may defect ang kit. Yan muna. Next is maintenance of individuality. So different specimens should be packed individually to prevent contamination. So amo ning ginanong nga kung solid sa nga specimen butang sa paper bag, kung liquid ara siya sa paper bag sa plastic bag para hindi mag-leak. Okay, so kung lain man nga sample or sa lain man sa nga area ginkuha nyo, okay, kung malalayo man, hindi yung sa pagtingbon. Okay, ay mga separation ina sa i-separate nyo then ano nyo man, i-log nyo kung sa ano, i-label nyo kung diin nga sa nga area nyo nakuha to make your crime scene investigation organized. Next is labeling, sealing, unsealing individually packed specimen ng motokambabaw should be labeled and sealed properly to avoid confusion and preparation of requests and documentations. So, i-label nyo gid permi kag ang proper nga sealing para hindi mag-leak. Next, scientific evidences. Okay, evidence is a proof of allegation. It means sanctioned by law of asserting in a judicial proceeding the true respecting a manner of facts. Okay, corollary thereto, scientific evidence may be defined as means of sanctioned by law as ascertaining in judicial proceeding the true respecting a matter of fact, wherein scientific knowledge is necessary, such as scientific evidence must have such a relation to fact in issue to the induced behalf in its existence or non-existence. Evidence on collateral matters shall not be allowed except when it tends in reasonable degree to establish the probability or improbability of facts and issues. So, ibig sabihin dapat related ang inyong mga evidence sa crime scene or sa inyong case nga ginahandulan. The evidence on collateral matter shall not be allowed except when it tends in reasonable degree to establish the probability or improbability of fact in issue. Evidence may be A. Direct, B. Indirect, which includes circumstantial evidence, or C. Hearsay. So first, what is direct evidence? Direct evidence is that which the senses perceive any fact to which a witness testify based on what he saw, heard, smelled, touched, or tasted. Okay, that is what you call direct. Crimes are done secretly. Usually, the perpetrator seeks darkness and remoteness in order to cover his misdeed, and in most cases, no witness is present at the scene of the crime, or even if there is or are witnesses, he or they are not willing to testify. The necessity of resorting to other means of proof is essential. Hence, it is necessary to use other available modes of procuring evidence in order to establish a proof in a case in a court. So, ano yung ginamit ng mga direct evidence? Ang mga witnesses. Okay? So, wagis ang mga witness na umoto wala ga testify kay na hadlok. So, pwede mo na sila ma-cover up ang ilang mga ngalan, ang ilang identity, okay, para ma-ensure ang safety sa inyong witnesses. So, na sa like mga cases, kung sino sa mga pinukulan nyo, or wala ka muna mga witness protection program. Whereas kung ang case is severely tamaan gid ka dako nga issue, okay, so to make para may proof to make the testimony sang witness, so dapat i-reveal gid ang iyang name, ang iyang affiliation, mga muna sa certain nga case para mas dako ang values ng iyang mga testimony. So may mga cases man nga whereas gamay man lang ang issue kag mas gina-prioritize ang safety sang witness kag wala gid man ginapangayo ang iya identity, so pwede nyo ma-cover up ang iyang identity as long as nga ano nyo nga valid ang iyang mga like iyang mga statements like recording pinapabalo gid Then may mga documentation nga ga support sa iyang statement. Next is your circumstantial evidence. Okay, it is a kind of evidence which seeks to establish a conclusion by inference from the facts proven. Illustrative or your illustrative case, while a policeman was patrolling, he heard a scream from a house. He immediately proceeded to the house, and then there, he saw a man coming out of the house carrying a bloody knife. The policeman arrested the man and subsequently entered the house. There he saw a female cadaver, okay, ang victim, lying on the floor with a stab wound on the breast. In this case, the only direct evidence to which the policeman can testify would be the fact that he saw the man with a bloody knife coming out of the house where the scream came from. The prosecutor may establish a conclusion that the man with the bloody knife is the criminal by inference from the fact testified by the policeman. By circumstantial, ara na sa crime scene mismo. Na, ang mismo nakadakop is ang police. Therefore, he will testify sa natabo. Okay? So, illustrative case lang for example, ano lang, uh, para may example ng Tarmasan. Next is, under the presence of law, circumstantial evidence is sufficient for conviction if, so you have three, there, there is more than one circumstances. B, the fact from which the interference are derived and are proven. And lastly, the combination of our circumstances is such as to produce conviction beyond reasonable doubt. So, pwede na matud-an nga ang suspect is ang perpetrator or siya mismo ang nagubra sang krimen. Okay. Next, ang last is aton nga hearsay evidence. Okay. Okay, it is a statement made by a witness on the authority and not from his own personal knowledge or observation. Hearsay evidence is inadmissible except on the following. Dying declaration, though huling habilin, res gestae, ganun, ganun natin. Ayan. Peloton ko, okay, your dying declaration, okay, huling habilin, is like before siya napatay, okay, ginhambalya ang suspect. Res gestae, is ang flow, for example, is ang testimony nga halin gid sa victim. So halin sa umpisa paano before ang krimen, during sang krimen kag pagkatapos na sang krimen kung paano siya nakaluwas sa situation. Then declaration against interest, you have your act of declaration about pedigree, family reputation or tradition regarding the pedigree, common reputation kung anong panulok sa mga ano siya, part of first degree kung sa diid lang nga parte siya involved sa krimen, entries in the course of business, entries in the official records, learned treatise, and lastly testimony or the disposition at a former proceeding. We have here forms of scientific evidences. Okay, you have here forms of scientific evidence. First, real or authentic evidence. Okay, it is an evidence which is addressed to the sense of the court. It is not limited to that which can be known by the sense of vision, but extends to which are perceived by the senses of hearing, taste, smell, or touch. Okay, so ang pwede mo padala sa korte. Okay, so mga recordings, okay, taste, ano madang taste, mga sample, okay, smell, and touch kung pwede nyo padala gid sa korte as physical evidence. Next is testimonial evidence. As an expert may be called on the witness stand to answer all questions propounded by the both parties in the case. both parties ang ginaakusar kag ang muna ang victim nga part. Next is documentary evidences. Any written evidence presented by an expert in the court which is relevant to the subject matter in dispute and not excluded by the rules of court. Formal written report, mga expert opinion. So, expert opinion halin sa mga nag-autopsy, mga muna, certificate and disposition are included in this group. Then, the investigator is a fact finder. It is a basic that he must know the law concerning the nature of his investigation. So, dapat kabalo sa mag-support sa iyang mga report nga ginapasa. He should procure evidence in such a way that the findings can be admitted in the court and remain impregnable against any attack by the opposing counsel. So, kaya yan dipinsahan ang iyang mga findings. He should be in constant contact with various investigative and enforcement agencies. So, may ano siya, uh, ano yung term na collaborate siya sa other department. So, for example, mapatest for ang suspect for drug or illegal substance. So, ibig sabihin may collaborate siya sa laboratory to make sure nga ara lang sa iyang sample, ara niya nga test kung positive siya, ipadala pa sa kung pila pa ka days before ma-receive ang another result for confirmatory mga muna. So dapat collaborated siya kay para kung ara na mismo sa hearing, okay, i-plastarya tanan may mga time frame kung saan nagabot ang mga result mga muna para in order kag hapos sa iya dipinsahan ang iyang mga findings. You have here blood stains muna siya, so fluorescence. So you have here crime scene investigator. So amo ng PPE, may gloves siya, may latex gloves, may face mask, naka suit. Okay, so that ends our presentation. So wait lang sa atong chapter 3. Sa atong chapter 3 do ano man lang ta do history sa mga laboratories. So hapos pa lang to. Then we'll proceed sa chapter 4 and so on and so forth, which we'll be discussing mga specific na mga topics. So thank you and good day.